Hey everybody, this is Faiz Versey, real estate broker with LePage team Realty in Ottawa. Welcome to an exciting video, and the topic of my discussion today is this the year of the anomaly? Let's find out. So I'm talking about the stats for June of 2020, the Ottawa real estate market stats. Let's take a look and see what we can see in these stats. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the unit sales. Now, as we can see here, in June, the unit sales have gone up compared to May. Here was one part of the anomaly. So yes, is this a year of the anomaly? Absolutely it is. Here is one part of the anomaly. In that, as you can see, if we look back at these three bars, 2019, 2018, I do believe I'm not wearing my glasses. My glasses are somewhere around here. So if we look at these three bars, they're kind of trending up. See, this is kind of how the Ottawa market works. If you want to know in detail about this graph, please watch my video for October 2019, in which I speak a lot about what all this graph, the shape of it, what it all means. For now, I'll just say that you can see the trend was like that, and then boom, we broke away here, and that was COVID. So yes, that is one aspect of how this is in fact the year of the anomaly, and we'll go forward and discuss it more as we go forward. My whole objective at the end of this is to give you some insight so that if you're a buyer, you will understand what all this means for you. If you're a seller of homes, you will understand what all of this means for you. So, as we can see, we had this dip here, which I explained in my video. If you go back to my video and watch it, the one in, I believe it's March, I think it was dated March 20th, or the one after that as well, maybe the one in March 20th. When there was a total blackout of information, I did a lot of analysis and I explained that this is an anomaly then caused by a freezing up of the market, which I did not expect it to last for a long time. And this is kind of in line with what I was talking about back then, where the market has started to recover as more and more activity comes in, as we get used to this whole idea of COVID-19. I say used to because we haven't gotten rid of COVID-19. We don't know about the time frame on that. It all depends on how the medicinal, is that the right word, how the medical technologies work and whether we get a vaccine or vaccines. We'll wait and see. But human beings are getting used to this idea of living with COVID. We are doing what we do best, which is we are adaptable around the world, around the globe, everywhere, which is the reason why human beings exist everywhere, whereas a lion living in Botswana cannot live here in Canada, especially in the northern regions. Similarly, a polar bear from the North Pole cannot go and live in Botswana. The reason I mention Botswana is because I used to live there for a long time. Beautiful country. Someday I will share with you my experiences about my camping trips in Botswana. I think some of you have seen my videos of my trips here in Canada, and some of you have commented to me that you enjoyed it. When I get a chance, I'll talk about my camping trips in Botswana, which is another perspective altogether. To come back to real estate, and the idea is that we are seeing this increase in unit sales. What does this mean? This means that the demand is there. It was always there. It is rising, and the market looks like it's coming back to, I won't say a normal. Nothing is normal right now compared to 3 months ago, but it's coming back to a new normal, which I will talk about, which I will talk to if I can recall, if I can remember as we go through this discussion. So let's see what else we can see. I'm going to skip a few graphs here. The average sale price took a small hit here and then has continued to increase. My friends, if I may say without offending anybody, I hope I don't offend anybody, but somehow the news media, which has to sell news, I understand that. Back in March, April, I think in April, when we saw these big declines happening and the news media was saying, oh, the market has crashed. And the market didn't really crash. There's a lot more to that story, which I explained in detail in my video in March, I think it was, March 20th, and the one after that as well. But that's the scenario. The news media has to create news. But what's really been happening is that, watch my videos if you really want to know what's really been happening. So what's really been happening is that there hasn't been much of a crash actually. It's just the market freezing up, and now we're unfreezing and we're coming back to what I would call a new normal. So my friends, my point there was just be careful about the news. I don't really watch the news. I think if it's important, somebody will tell me. But yeah, listen to the news, but use your sense of discretion as well, and try to get your information, the one that you're going to base your decisions on. Try to get that information from credible sources, people who have knowledge of what that topic is. Not to say that the media is not credible, but the media would do better, excuse me, if instead of sensationalizing topics, they just came down to the facts and the logic and engaged with the people who are knowledgeable about that topic and gave us unsensationalized factual information. I would love to have media presentations like that, which do exist, of course, but you have to hunt a bit. In the meantime, if you want information on real estate, watch my videos. I hope you'll find them helpful, factual, and helping you to make those decisions that are important to you in your life and make them based on good information. Okay, folks, so let's look at this piece of good information. Average sales price, from what I can understand, this is an all-time new high. Now I'm going to need my glasses. I think that says 575. And if I compare to all these numbers down here, because I know the last big all-time high for residential prices was somewhere back here in December. If that is correct, December, it was around 500. We went up, we went down in April slightly, we come up again. So, my friends, the market is hot. Why? We're in a recession. Why is the market hot? Why do the prices keep going up? So that, my friends, is a critical insight and a critical piece of information which I will share with you. I've shared with you one part of it, and I will share with you the other part of it. And by the way, here the condo prices are also heading up. So what is one part of that information? It is this, that the demand is there, it exists. So it's all about supply and demand. All right, so we have demand which keeps on growing. So this is just the unit sales. The demand is somewhere up here. And then we have the supply side, which I will quickly come down, and if I can find the graph, and here it is. Total active inventory at the end of the month. And if we look here, the active inventory in 2020 is much lower than back here in 2018, 2019, 2020. That is the whole story. That is the whole story behind why are the prices rising. We have this huge demand-supply imbalance. I think I've explained this about umpteenth times now in all of my videos. If you watch my videos, you'll get this exact same explanation, which is that we have demand up here, we have supply down here, as you can see from these two graphs, which are based on the Ottawa Real Estate Board. So this is this is what I mean, factual information. If you want to make decisions, you need factual information, not subjective information. Subjective information is also important at times, but in this case, the more objective, the better. So this is a scenario, supply-demand imbalance. So what happens is the price has to rise in order to achieve equilibrium, and therefore we have rising prices. Now that, of course, makes it very frustrating for buyers, and it makes it great for sellers. So what is my little bit of, I'm just trying to see if there's anything more I can add. We can just actually stop at this graph, and I can continue with my explanations. This graph is telling us that we're in a seller's market. Again, we had this dip here, and then we are now rising back up. Am I looking at the right month? This is June, yes. So we're rising back up, and what this is saying is that we're in a seller's market. And seller's market means that the sellers command the price right now. So it's frustrating for buyers. So here's my advice. Here's my advice for the buyers. Mr. Buyer, if you are seriously looking for a home, which means what? Which means you're not just browsing, you're really seriously interested in finding a home, please come and talk to me. There is a specific strategy you have to use in this market, in this COVID market, in the scenario where we have this huge imbalance of supply and demand. There's some very specific strategies that you have to use if you're going to get yourself a house. Otherwise, you're going to end up going through 30, 40, I don't know how many offers, and you still won't have anything. But I can help you with that. So give me a call, and I will take you through that specific strategy on how to buy a house. In this market, things are very, very different than from just 3 months ago. Well, kind of very, very different. Yes, very, very different. Although they were very difficult for buyers 3 months ago as well, but now we have the added complexities of COVID and all the attendant scenarios with respect to the complications with respect to all the government regulations and everything, which takes me to the next point for Mr. Seller. Mr. Seller, awesome. This is party time. This is a good time for you. You can command a high price. So please talk to me again. I need to educate you about all of the COVID procedures that need to be taken care of. Health is paramount. We need to take care of everybody, the seller, myself, the buyer, the community, the government, the country. Our lovely country, Canada, has taken wonderful care of us, and we have to pay back by making sure that we are doing our best to do this business safely. So Mr. Seller, please give me a call and I will help you through all of that and help you to get top dollar for your house net after all my commissions. I'll explain about how all of that works. My friends, this brings me to the end of my present. Oh no, I haven't answered the main question. Well, I have partly. And the main question was, let me find my notebook here. The main question was, and I'm just looking at my notebook, excuse me, beautiful. This is the year of the anomaly. That is the thesis of my whole video. So yes, this is the year of the anomaly. Let me explain that. We've had one aspect of the anomaly here, boom, where we broke away from the averages, and we're probably going to do it again now, because we're now in the month of June. As the unit sales have risen, are we going to see another bump here in July? I can virtually say yes. When I say virtually, I mean nothing in life is guaranteed. I don't know the future. I've had a pretty good run with my projections so far in this year. If you go back and watch all of my videos, every time I've made a projection, it's pretty much come pretty accurate. Now, part of that is fluke, part of that is just because I study these things a lot in detail. I study stats, I study demographics, I study real estate. I am immersed in all of these things. So yes, I have a good chance of getting these things right. But of course, I don't know the future. Nothing in what I say is guaranteed. It's all an estimate. And the estimate right now is that in July, we'll see another bump over here. And that is, again, the anomaly that I'm talking about. The averages say that we should be going down in terms of unit sales. We're going to see a bump. So now here's another phrase that you're going to hear time to time. We are having spring in summer. What on earth does that mean? We are having spring in summer. So what that means is, if you look here at this trend going up, so this trend is basically we start early in January, we go up in unit sales through the summer, we kind of come down through the fall and back down during the cold winter months, and then the cycle starts again. Now, in spring we are going up. We were supposed to keep going up, but we didn't go up. We came down because of COVID. Now we're going up again. So does that mean we're here the next step would have been up, and then the next step would have been up? Are we just trying to catch up with that, and the next step will be up, and the next step will be up? Well, I can tell you July, I'm confident, will be up. I don't know about further than that. But the point of this is that this is spring in summer. It means it's this market that got discontinued, and we're just continuing it now in summer. So now I hope you understand that phrase, that we are experiencing spring in summer in respect of real estate sales. Now, what happens after July? We really don't know. And this is where our estimates now start to fade away, because we really don't know. And the reason we don't know is, what if we have a second wave? What happens when the government's boosting of the economy through its various, what do they call them, through its various financial intervention, when that comes to an end? Now, I don't think it will come to an end. I think it will continue. So we'll see how all of that works out. But those things could cause a decline in the prices. International immigration has, from what I understand, come to a halt in Canada. So all of these things can have an effect. Mr. Buyer, Mr. Seller, how does this affect you? Mr. Buyer, it doesn't affect you. All right, I've said this time and again through every video. Please go back and watch all of my videos, even go back to October of 2019, where I talk about should you invest in Ottawa property. And that was when the market was extremely hot. People were crying and saying, oh, this is the top, this is the top. Please watch that video. Mr. Property Buyer, it doesn't matter. You buy now. If you're going to hold this for the long term, I keep saying this, don't worry about it. Mr. Seller, it matters to you. For you right now, the market is great. Okay, so if you have a reason to sell, you need to think about it right now. Give me a call. We'll talk all about that. My friends, if I can carry on, what else can I say? So the average prices, again, here, this was the anomaly. And is this the year that's going to be, is this the year? So, such a complicated title, but very exciting. So let me read it again. What does my notebook tell me? And my notebook, is this the year of the anomaly? What a wonderful title. So what I'm expecting is, again, to see some more increases here. But that's what that's saying, is that it's breaking away from the averages, right? So is this going to continue beyond that? I don't know. But July, I can see pretty much this trend continuing. I think we'll see. And then that's actually the whole story, my friends, that yes, this is the year of the anomaly. I hope you got that picture. We are still in the seller's market. So lots going on, my friends. I hope I have given you information that you will find useful. If you have questions, feel free to give me a call. I'll be delighted to help you further with buying or selling, residential, commercial, and everything in between. So my friends, COVID has not gone away. We need to be very careful. Make sure you wear your masks. Listen to everything that the government is asking us to do. Please do it. My friends, that's all that I have for you for today. If you like the video, please give it a like. Please share, do all those good things. If you didn't like it, you can certainly give it an unlike. My friends, that's all that I would like to share with you for now. And until I speak with you again, take care. Bye-bye.